Hi there, it's the Victats podcast. This is a podcast about tatting, not the skin and ink kind of tatting, but the needle, shuttle, and thread kind of tatting. It is, I should have looked it up. It's March 23rd or 24th, 2025, and I'm podcasting to you from my home in Smiths Falls. It is a snowy day. Yesterday was really cold, today was snowy. And this last week has not been a particularly good week for me because I worked Tuesday, went home Tuesday night and got super sick. So I didn't work Wednesday and Thursday, which for me is a lot. Like but I couldn't work because I physically couldn't do my job. Went back to work on Friday. So it's kind of been a weird week. And it's not that I got to stay home and cross stitch and all that stuff. It wasn't until like Thursday evening that I could see kind of, forget about actually working. I don't think I could drive to work. But because it really affected my eyes were like, wee. Yeah, so it's been a weird week. Anyways, so what I wanted to just give you is show you, pick up from last week and show you a couple things. And I wanted to show you the tatting box I made. So the thing is that last fall, I think it was August, late summer, early fall, I went down to visit Ginny Weathers and Dina McKenzie before they went to the Palmetto Tatting Guild and everything. And we had a nice tat day and kind of toured around the countryside. At that time, I'd taken down a little cross-stitch kit for everybody to make. And Ginny actually gave me a couple boxes to see what I could do. So they kind of started off, the box that I'm going to show you started off kind of like this. Okay, so completely different. But and she'd given it to see what kind of thing I could make with that. So what I actually did was, and I showed some of this to you last week, is I took the box, I painted it black, and then I decoupaged. I took, this is a tatting book. It's from the, you can find it in the Antique Pattern Library under tatting. And Martha S. had found the book and donated it. And the reason it can be donated is the patterns are in the public domain. But it also has these really beautiful, beautiful diagrams. Like they're just beautiful. And it was a German book, so the writing's a little bit different. And the thing about this is these are very different designs than what you would see in contemporary tatting books. So that was also what was like so cool about it. Very different, which implies there is some there was more stuff out there than just what we see these days. Now, so what I did is I printed off the book that's in the public domain. Oh yes, here, let me do this. I'm gonna bring myself, there we go. That's in the public domain. And then I cut out these sections and used decoupage glue to put it on, did a couple layers. Now, sorry, let me backtrack for a second. I painted the box black. Now, when you paint it, leave it alone, don't touch it. Because I have some parts I can't get to stick because I had been taking the lid on and off, and when it was somewhat dry, but not cured, so the paint had chipped off, and I can't get it to stick back on. So there's a couple places where you can see the green, the original underlying color coming through, but it works because the rest of it's got green with it, so it's kind of, part of that design of it. Yep, that's what we're gonna say. Anyways, so I decoupaged them on, did a couple different layers, okay, and then I got a sealant. Okay, normally I don't do that if it's just for myself, but you should use a sealant if you want it to actually last. So, oh, my teeth are looking really gross and yellow. What was I gonna say to you? Sorry, I was very distracted by that. You can kind of see sometimes some places I got a little too close. Anyways, with the spray sealant. See there? So you can say. Anyways, so I also I didn't sand it. I didn't anything like that because I kind of like that streaky textured color. So I did the sealant, and then I let it cure. work and put it away for a couple days and learned my lesson about fiddling with it. And then this pattern is from the book. It is right here, okay? And there's a Facebook group on that is dedicated to this book, and one rewriting out the patterns in a more modern term so we can understand kind of what's going on. I feel that there's a lot of stuff that somebody who, the person who did this pattern just assumed we would know to do. And that was part of the challenge with writing out the patterns from this book. I was obsessed with this book when it was first introduced on the online tatting class, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, totally obsessed with it. And so I have different pieces of that still sitting around, and I've done a bunch of versions of this doily as part of the group project to try to make it, to rewrite out a pattern. And it is very much different than our modern sensibility, where we like things not to overlap. Like, not that we don't want things bunchy or overlappy, but these are bunchy and overlappy. And I think there's a lot of places where they just assume, like, there's tension understanding that we don't have now. Anyways, okay, so so decoupage this on top. Believe it or not, I measured it, but in the gluing process, not decoupage, I glued it on. In the gluing process, it kind of it's not quite even. It's like a quarter, not a quarter of an inch, an eighth of an inch maybe off a bit. Anyways, from center. Great, but and then what I used to glue it was Aleene's tacky glue, and the reason I use Aleene's tacky glue is it's supposed to dry clear, which that's the problem with black. You can often see some of these glue stuff, which, believe it or not, I did clean up, but whatever. The risk you run, right? So I use that, and I have used that a lot in the past, or Elmer's glue. You could use Elmer's glue too, it would work just as well. To glue on the motif, okay? And that motif is there. And I didn't want to I didn't want to do anything else with it because I want you to still be able to touch it and feel it, okay? And what else was I going to say from this? Yep, so I did that part. I'm still considering I might do add a little rick-rack around the edging if I can find something that's appropriate. Just a little more, you know, but sometimes too much is just too much. Okay, and then when it all cured, because I learned my lesson, I know I keep saying that, but I learned my lesson, then I took, this is a beading mat, and some, I spelt that, this is tatting. I took some beads, I put that on, and then I also added, these are magnets that I use as needle rests. So I put 2 there. I just want, the way I use it is that I don't need it to be able to hold something like this, but it's just to keep the needle from rolling off. So if you put down the needle or the shuttle, it'll kind of stick. Not the shuttle, unless you have one of the magnetic ones. But if you put down your needle, if you're beading, because obviously you're beading, or alternatively, if you are a needle tatter, then it will stick enough. The thing is, the magnet's on the other side, so it actually has to go through all this. So the magnets are quite strong, but it has to go through all this stuff. And these are just little blinged up things. Okay, so I put that on, and I figured this was good, sorry, because, and again, I just used Aleene's glue, but I figured it was also good because then you could let all the beads come down here and pour it away. So that was kind of what I was thinking of. I have been trying to find a little bead funnel, but I can't find one right now. So we're not gonna worry about it. Okay, and then what I did was, I took, this is a ball holder, a thread holder, and I put magnets in the bottom and a magnet inside here. Okay, here, sorry, hold on. Let me show you what I put in it. There's a ring of different kinds of little tools and stuff that you can use to make different little tatted doodads. There's like you know, gems and bottle caps and gems again. Oh, I have 2 bags of gems. Well, it would have been nice that I paid attention to that. But anyways, some sequins, different buttons or different beads and charms and everything. Paper clips to use for when you're beading or holding space, and then some clips if you need them. So I put those all on a little ring here, and the other thing I put on a ring was, these are actual thread gauges, that they're clover ones. I bought them a couple years ago, but I don't use them. So and they're a really great thing to have for someone who uses the gauge. They are absolutely awesome. But I actually didn't end up using them for me. Now, I put 2 hooks in the side to hook them, and then the reason I used the 3M clips was so that if you decided you didn't want them there, if someone didn't want them there, because I'm actually going to donate this to the Finger Lakes. They do like a fundraiser thing at the Finger Lakes Tatting seminar that I'm going to in a couple weeks. Fingers crossed, because I'm in Canada and this is in the United States. So I put them there, but I made it so that they should be able to come out. The other thing I did, which you couldn't see initially, is that I did a fabric bottom. This fabric's got little bees and all that stuff. I just love it. It looks so cute. Okay, so then I added that in. So those 2 hooks. The other thing I did is I put a magnet on the bottom of here and a couple magnets in the bottom here, just to hold it in place. Now the thing is I don't want it to hold hard in place, because I want you to be able to take it out without pulling the whole bottom up. But I just wanted it to be enough that if you needed to, it would hold. Okay. And again, these magnets are really good, but once you put something between them, the magnets aren't as good. My sister's ordered some rare earth magnets for me, but I don't know if I'm going to bother putting it, because they are sometimes just a little too strong, but I'll see. A bag of buttons, because everybody needs a bag of buttons. This is a Clooney loom that you make using plastic canvas shapes. I do not use I don't use a loom when I do Clooney's. And to be honest, some people call it Clooney's, by the way. I call them Clooney's, but I don't use it. I just use my hands. And to be quite honest, I go through periods where it's really easy for me to do, and well, not easy. It's not that it's hard. It's that to get them to look a certain way. Mine don't look like mine. I don't know. I'm just pernickety about that. I also put in against the wall here is a little box containing things like needle threaders, or not, yeah, those are called needle thread. Anyways, yeah, needle threaders. A couple things for bobbins, and some sticky note stuff. And this container is just a gum container, but I find it's really handy. And so I put that in there with magnets on the side, so I can kind of sit there. It's not that it's going to be a hard, like, oh my God, firm sitting. It's just to kind of keep things a little bit in place, right? So when you open it up and you're moving around, it's not creating a big mess. Now, I also have the scissors in here, put a pair of scissors in here, which they can hang on the hooks if somebody would want them to hang on the hook, or they can sit down in. I might make a needle thing to go in there, or not a needle, scissor holder. And then there's a little strawberry, like what I showed you last week. And I'll talk about the strawberries in a second, because I ended up doing a much different top on the strawberries. Instead of a bead, I had this sequin top, so that's what I've done. And I've also, on this one, did I do it? No, this one I did not. On a lot of them, I reinforced the seam here with a little bit of embroidery. And then the other thing I did is that I made a little very simple needle roll, but this is actually pattern number 1 in the Endrucks book. There it is there. There's the pattern. There's a little motif I did. And I made a little needle roll, so you can put your needles here. And and use the tatting as the tie. Now, so then, hold on, I'm just tying it back up here. Now, if you are somebody who's been tatting and you're wondering, how do I do this tie thingy with the tatting? It's really easy. Pick a part you can wrap a ribbon around, and then, there we go. So tie it back up here. And then sew it on. Sew the base on. I prefer sewing over gluing because I think it's going to stick better. And then I did just kind of, you know, the fold over loop thing, or you could tie it, but I usually do the fold over loop thing, and then dun dun dun. But I just think it's a nice pretty way to add a little extra prettiness. And you know, if I decide to go a little crazy, it might be the outside of this. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. Now, I have not put the lid on here right now because and that's part of the reason why I think I haven't really decided if I'm going to. I don't know if it would be too much to add one last thing of rickrack or something on the outside. I just don't know. I haven't decided yet. I kind of want to, I kind of don't, because I don't want to take away from the beauty. To me, these are gorgeous. Just so you know, they're very, I love the way they look. Yep, so that's what it is. Tatting. Part of the reason this here piece is uneven is because when you glued if you ever glued beading mat down, it kind of skitters off, kind of pulls off weird sometimes. So that's actually in the gluing down, not in my actual cutting. Okay, so that's what I have been doing with that. And that will come down to the Finger Lakes Tatting group for the silent auction. So there might be a few more things in there. There might not be. I might make a scissor holder thingy. I might not. Depends on timing and my mood. Okay. The other thing I did is I made this little mini tatting kit, which I think I want to put something across here. And I put a little little charm there. This is a magnet I like to use these magnets in here to hold the little mini crochet hooks I use in place for tatting, and then get these little cute little sticky note things, markers that I found that are like cats and dogs. And look, the little cat, look, okay, I'm gonna come up really close. The cat is giving the dog the stink eye. That's so funny. And then I did a little rickrack around the bottom. Yep. So we'll see. I might do a little bit more on that too, but I might not. And this is for somebody that is coming to the event, that is coming from a very long way away. So I just want to give her a little thing to use for on the plane. So, so that was, you know, the blinging kits, and then here are all my strawberries. Now, in case you're wondering why I did the white top, I just, I don't know. It's what I had. I have red ribbon. I have a shit ton of little pieces of red ribbon, but I didn't think those were gonna match quite. But I had this white ribbon, and at the time it seemed like it was a really great thing. It's thin enough that I can get something on here. And then say if you decided you want to add some more beads to it, you could totally add more beads to this ribbon. So that's part of the reason I use this ribbon. I don't know, maybe it would have looked more luxurious if I'd added a different color, but whatever. Maybe green would have been better. Oh well, too late. It's done. It's done. It cannot be undone. But sorry, I'm trying to fuss out a piece of hair that I keep seeing here. But this is what they all look like. So as I said, and then can I see one of the ones? Is this one of the ones? Yeah, you can't really see, but I just reinforced where I had done the sewing. A little bit. Now, God, when people, oh, and I only use one thickness on this. Oh, anyways, when people do these things and they show you it and everything, they make it sound so easy, but it's not that easy to do these little cross, you know, embroidery things. Like, you need to have aim. Anyways, so, last week I told you how I made them, but the only difference is I added this instead of a bead, and I think that worked out better. I also looped this up, put this on there, sewed this in, and then glued this part down on top of that so that it would do that nice little cap. And the thing is that I also wrote down last week on the post I did last week on what was the count for these. So, you know, basically how I did. And I found ultimately it was easier, instead of sewing through the base here, I just sewed through the picots between each ring, and that held it down really good. And when you put what people don't tell you when you make these strawberries, or when you do like the cross stitch strawberries and everything, is that when you put that top on, it changes. When you're looking at it and you're like, oh, okay, it's a weird shape. Don't worry about the shaping until after. Like, when you put the top on, that changes things. So this strawberry, when I sewed on the top, it changed things. So it totally worked out. And this is with pashmina shawls. My friend had a whack load of them. So, okay, and I have them right now in a little bowl. Now, and like I said, you know, I only have a little while because I'm gonna take these down with me for teachers' gifts. I only have a little while, so but however, if the mood takes me, I might add some beads onto the top. But you know, why? It's already done, right? Okay. This is my little kit together. One more. Yep. You don't need to hear the rest of that. Okay. Things that I have not put in the tatting box is I have a bunch of little mini crochet hooks, but those things are like gold to me, so they will not be added to the box. Nope. Okay. All right, so I think that is it for tatting right now. In other news, though, I wanted to show you, because I didn't have it last week on me, but I really want to show this to you because dun dun dun. As I said last week, I had finished the Luna Moth. I have not ironed it yet, as obvious by the wrinkles. And so when I iron it, I will put the fusible webbing on it. And I have to decide. I don't know what to do. I think so. I should have ironed this before. I don't think I did. I should have ironed this because look, big crease there. Even though it's been lying flat ever since I realized how bad those creases are to get out. I don't know what I'm going to do there. I know some people put the fusible webbing on, then bead, but you know, I don't know. But here it is. She is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I am so happy with how this turned out. Like, so happy. I can't wait to get the beads on there. And then for here, I didn't buy the special little charm. I'm just going to go through my thing probably and see if I have anything that's similar or usable, because you know, I still have at the cottage, I still have some random collections of stuff, and so I might find something there. I might find something like a little tatted doodad or something. Actually, I might just take a little crystal and then do a little tatted ring around it. I might do that. Actually, I might do that. That might work. Anyway, super excited. And then I've been like wanting to bead. I've opened it up, put the bead stuff out, and I just have not been in the mood to bead. So that has not been done. Sorry, I just wanna. Good news in another update is, sorry, I have had this thing lying flat for a little while in my needle roll, and look, I think, oh, nope, you can still see it really bad, but I think this thing is coming out. So it's becoming less visible, I hope, fingers crossed. Although it's like, oh my God, don't fold your crunchy Ada, people. Oh, that was a hard lesson to learn. But anyways, You can tell me, but you can't tell me much. Alrighty, so what have I actually been cross stitching? Well, so remember, no cross stitching when I was sick, because oh my god, I could barely aim anything. No tatting, no cross stitch, no nothing. I actually just I put the Hughie stitcher on and started it from the beginning. Now I didn't, you know, sometimes I'm like sleeping, sometimes I'm awake, so I didn't actually watch a lot of it per se, but I had her on repeat for the whole time because hey, I actually couldn't watch it either, so I just had that as background. But this is my Nora Corbet, the Christmas tree. I'll show you a picture in a second. So I've been working in through here a bit and filling it out. Now look, I know obviously I don't always learn my lesson, but I think that probably, here's my excuse, I'm saying that this stuff might be easier to get the creases out of than the Aida. Sorry, let me show you what the pattern is. This is the pattern by Nora Corbet. It's the 2011 Christmas tree. And it's gonna look, already looks amazing, amazing. I'm not very far. What I was surprised by, I have to tell you something, when I've actually, part of what I was doing was watching also, like not when I was sick, but ever since I was sick, my eyes can't take looking at the iPhone. So I've been actually pulling out my laptop and using that. And what I am shocked by is how perfect some people's stitches are. Holy crap. Because I only ever see them small. When I see them big, I'm like, wow. Anyways, okay, now, I just wanted to tell you that if I'm in Canada, so if you're in Canada and you have a great Canadian superstore near you, they have these scissors that are super sharp and super handy. They are $2. My friend told me about them, and when I saw them, I got a couple to try them out, and yes, they are. Now, there are no Kohanas, not Kohanas. There are no Kohanas, but they're pretty good, and you know, they're okay because then you're not worried about losing them. A funny note about that is that my friend, so at work, I work with my good friend Salima and Hafiz. Salima and I are chiropractors. Hafiz runs the clinic, and we work from 7:30 till noon on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then 4 to 6. So what we do is we go home and we cook. And basically what happens is I do the chopping and everything, and then she adds the stuff in. So she adds the spices and all that stuff. We both figure this out, but we work together to do that. And she's had pretty good knives, but the other day when she was at the store with her nephew, he's like, buy this knife. And she got a Japanese knife. And oh my God. Was that awesome. So my point is if the Japanese knives from like Winners, or I think it was Home Sense, are so much better than anything else, I'm pretty sure it's worth that horrible expensive price for those scissors. However, for me, I would lose those scissors so quickly, and I am the culprit in my house that will use scissors, but just pick up a pair of scissors and use it for anything. Right? So I am not the person that should have my scissors. But oh my God, what a difference chopping. Holy shnikes. Of course, I could also cut my finger off with it, so probably not a good idea for me to be using all the time. And yes, I'm making a huge mess right now that you can't see. I did not work on my moo cow. I pulled it out, looked at it, put it away. I'm like, nope, can't do that right now. I thought it would be easy and comfort, but because there's a couple places I can just fill in, and I'm like, nope. But the one thing I did do, and I'm really excited to show you, is this is my Bird of Paradise. I'm actually going to make a copy of this so I don't have to pull this book out all the time. Like I don't have to fold it weird, because that's what I do. Is the Glendon Place Bird of Paradise mandala. Okay. I love this, love it. And look, not the beading, but I have one section done. Dun, 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 one Bird of Paradise. I'm practically done. 7 more to go. Only took me 2 years to get to this point. It's actually not that, whatever. It's just, you know, I actually think I've gotten, well, I don't know if I've gotten much better, but I absolutely totally adore stitching on this. I am using a hoop to stitch this because it does make your stitches look much better. Katie Strachan is correct in that. I'm going to leave this pattern next. I'm going to make a copy of it. I have a printer that's more of a photocopier than a printer because I can't, it's supposed to be wireless, but I can't get it to hook up properly. It's a long story. It's a hand-me-down from my mom because she couldn't get it hooked up properly. I'm like, oh, this shouldn't be hard. I just go online and everything. No, can't get the stupid thing to fun. Anyways, whatever. And then this is my Witchy Stitcher, I Love You for Your Brains, which I just only have that. So I don't have a picture of it. However, if you just went on the Witchy Stitcher site, you'd find it. But what did I manage to do? Well, one, I managed to finish out the E. And you know, it's one of those things where your thread goes, like you have 2 stitches left and the thread runs it. Oh, look, oh my God. Oh, look what I did. I will be, I think, I don't know if you're, oh wait, no, I know what happened there. Oh my God. This red thread was a, there we go, that's better. Okay, this red thread was a menace. A menace. Plus my eyes. Anyways, okay, so I did, I've stitched down into here. I actually did most of this like yesterday or the day before. Here, down into here, and I think I finished filling it. Yeah, there's a thread up here. I'm filling into here because what I want to do is I want to get this down. If I get, I think I'm gonna, I don't know, I haven't decided. I might do the outline, I might not, but what I really, really, really want to get to is the eyeballs. Because this, once I put a couple more pieces in here, this is mostly just fill in, so that'll be fine. Get the eyeballs down, make it so everything's there, and then just fill it in. And then the brains. Oh, look, crease. I've learned my lesson. Don't fold the crunchy Ada. When I get closer and I have the ear done on this side, then I think what I will do is fold this in half and cut it down a little bit more. Maybe. This color was just dyed by me. Same thing with the Luna Moth. Now, oh, that's not here with me. I never have everything with me, but I think I just put that there for, okay. What I wanted to tell you is, so then because I was watching the Hughie Stitcher, the Hughie Stitcher, what happened was then she's talking about the Mirabilia and all that stuff, and I watched a couple other Mirabilias and all of this. I just finished my 2 Fancy Ladies. So I have 2 patterns that I want to do. There's a couple of them that I want to do, but she just said like, oh, some of these ones you can't get later and everything. And I thought, oh my God. So I went to Wool Time and I looked through the pile of Mirabilias I had and purchased the ones. I purchased a couple, not just 2. It was just 2, because I know there's certain ones that I want to do. So one is the it's a Mirabilia Queen Bee, but then there's also 2 Nora Corbet bees. I want to do those. I like bee woman. And I purchased, oh yes, the Baker's Wife, because I want to do that one. Not because it's the Baker's Wife, but I'd seen one where it's like the zombie wife or whatever, but it was more of a, like she, instead of a cupcake, she's holding a skull. Also I own, I have the snow, it's called the Snow Queen. It's one that was in the Hirschners. And it's a snowman basically, but really beautiful, but a snow queen instead of a snowman. But the problem is the colors are in Valdani, and so I have to figure that out. And there's a couple places where there's like a little bit of yellow, and I'm thinking I'm going to change that coloring because guess what? Yellow snow is not good snow. So I think I'm going to change that to pink. So I'm going to alter, I don't know, maybe alter it a bit. and it takes a lot of beads and a lot of the special gems or whatever they call them. I will not likely be purchasing the gems, but I will find some kind of beady thing that looks like it. Oh, and there's one more thing I wanted to say is one thing that the Huggy Stitcher was talking about was about how certain beads were not available through Mill Hill. So the thing is if you're looking for like Miyuki beads, or I don't think that was the name she said. It was it wasn't the Delicates. Maybe it was the Miyuki. Anyways, those beads are go to a bead store. Go to a bead store. Lots of beads in a bead store, and they are. If Mill Hill's using those kinds of beads, or then you can just get them at a bead store too. Different, like there's a little bit of sleuthing going on to match up the colors, but there are like if it's those kinds of beads that they're called for, then you can get those other places. What's it, Miyuki's? And anyways, the reason I had was mentioning is because I actually did go to a bead store and asked at that bead store, which is a reputable one here in town, in Ottawa. And I said, "Are you guys having a problem getting this bead?" And she's like, "No." So it wasn't that the beads weren't, you couldn't get those beads. You couldn't get the bead. Mill Hill couldn't get the beads to repackage them. Different story. And oh my God, it's going to drive me crazy until I'll remember what the name of the beads are later. Anyways, all right, so that's just an offshoot or whatever. I used to have a massive bead collection. And, I think the beads are the ones that I'm kind of the most pissy about. Everything. But in terms of the fire and everything, but so I haven't, like I said, I had my Delicates, I had the Miyukis, I had the, I can't think of the other name, but I had every kind that I could ever want. Anyway, so just you can always go and kind of explore other places, and bead stores are more accessible than cross-stitch stores with beads. You might have a store like, say, Wool Time has cross stitch now. Never did for many, many years, but now they have a quite a good cross stitch section, like Wool Time here in Ottawa, and they have Mill Hill beads, and they can order them in probably if you wanted them. But also, if you're looking for beads, a bead store is a really great place to look, and they will also give you hints and tips and everything on how to transfer beads in different ways. Because there's a lot of different ways to handle different size beads, and I'm always surprised when people don't know. Not surprised, because I've done a lot of beading within tatting, so I've learned a lot from that. But it's always interesting that they don't teach you how to do that. Your primary cross stitcher, then there's certain techniques you don't know that can help you to make the beads easier to add onto something. These little tricks onto threads and everything, because you don't always have to get, you don't always have to get the bead onto the thread. You can get the bead onto a different thread and transfer it onto the thread you're using. I know I just made that sound really weird and complicated, but it doesn't have to go over the needle if you don't need it to. And it's really easy to rethread it. Okay, I'm saying it's easy. I understand the nature of invisible thread, but it's actually not that bad. Or a good beading hook. Anyways, okay, all right, I've kind of gone off into the weeds, but I just wanted to show you the my beautiful box. And talk to you about the process of doing that. And the decoupage is all smooth, it's all good. And I wanted to show you my Luna moth, not a Luna moth. Oh my God, have I been saying Luna? It's not a Luna moth, it's a June bug, my beautiful June bug. And I hope to be doing, yes, sweetie, I know. I hope to be doing, I hope to be doing more cross stitch soon, and hopefully work a little bit on some of the beading. But I don't know, I think I need to be in a special mood to do cross stitch beading for some reason. Anyways, all right, okay. I want to wish you happy tatting and happy stitching, and I'll see you guys soon, and I hope you are having a lovely day. Cheers.